Hey everyone, Flav here with a couple of updates. Users are looking at the interface here and saying, I'm lost, where do I look? I think this page is actually creating more content than the input in some cases. We need to figure out a way to keep this experience more single-minded. Problem number 2 is that we have a VirtualMe experience and a Storytel chat experience that don't live together in a single space. Whether these experiences continue to offer value or whether we kill them in the future, I think we benefit from having a structure that has the capacity to hold more experiences together. This is a way of communicating what an aesthetic for Storytel could look like. The wireframes that I created are super rough. Let's move on. Taking clues from Slack, I thought of organizing the user experience in 3 levels. Level 1 is basically where you select the channel, and I'm going to show you what that looks like in a second. Level 2 is a dedicated chat experience. And level 3 is chat functions. Notice how engagement goes deeper as you move to the right. I'm also thinking of these sections as expandable. So if you're focusing on chat, you should be able to accordion that open. So let's look at channels. Channels are not unlike Slack, not unlike ChatGPT. I'm talking about the left column where you can manage multiple communication streams. And here I have a conversation with Erica about clean communication with Erica's brain. I have another stream with Jing. I'm working on a project with Adobe, so in this case I'm chatting with a large language model that has been trained with Adobe's I think it's called Spectrum voice documents, I forgot. And here I have another stream where I activated 3 brains or virtual me's. I summoned all of them into one conversation. At the bottom I have some settings here, including the ability to manage the experts that I have access to. Panel number 2, this is all about chatting. So users like Abby have been saying, I want to be able to have a focused experience. So what I'm proposing here is that the summaries don't appear on a second column, that instead the entire conversation happens within the blue zone. So for example, if I uploaded an Excel document, I don't get tiles or anything else on the right. Whatever conversation I end up having, it happens on the screen, including executive summary, table of contents. I'm also introducing a couple of features that will activate the third panel on the right. They are the ability to save and source. We heard Abby say, how can I know where the information comes from? And since we're opening this Pandora box of tools, we can also experiment with copy and redo. Let's see what users think about those things. Those functions would appear on rollover. The idea is to keep the chat interface very minimal. So these icons appear only when I roll over the chat bubble. So the consequences of using those functions are presented in the third panel. Not unlike Slack, on the third panel you have more detail, more in-depth experiences. You can think of the third panel as a history of your actions. So the idea is that I saved a note so it gets clipped, and that could be a story tile. And if I looked for source on a piece of information, that's how it shows here. Everything is time-stamped. You're essentially creating a trail of your interactions with chat within the third panel. I do think that there's a benefit to having this structure. Even if we end up ditching VirtualMe or if we start exploring other things, I think the 3-panel system will be helpful in one way or another. So again, another rough mock. This is not high fidelity. On the left side, stream of conversations. If I interact with anything here, if I want to save this or view source, those actions leave a history trail here on the right. So one of the benefits of having a 3-panel system is that I can stack functions here within panel number 1. Panel number 1 is channel navigation. So if I want to activate my own story doppel, I can do so here. I can also browse for more experts. And I imagine this section looking almost like Netflix or Spotify. Okay, I just created a quick mock-up here using Spotify as an analog. If I click on my experts, I could see Ariana and Naval Ravikant and Bill Gates and all of these experts here, and then some genres that I can explore. Okay, let's go back. If I click on my story doppel, then Drodio, here I see the dashboards that you put together. It's a place where I can manage my knowledge, mess with my story doppel settings, and see the analytics, and do things like make the content visible or not visible to people. And more functions can pile on here. So again, the benefit of having this left navigation is that it can hold a lot of innovations as we continue to experiment with them. In terms of like designing this for simplicity, I should be able to collapse and expand the panels, and I should be able to realize this focus mode essentially. That could happen in the click of a button, or it could be that these things are draggable. I don't care right now. We're still experimenting with possibilities. The idea is that users like Abby want to be able to avoid distraction and focus on what matters. So to recap, we're talking about a 3-panel system. On the left, we have channels. In the center, we have the chat experience. And on the right, we have a deeper experience with content. Thank you so much. Let me know what you folks think about it. I know that Erica will take it from here. Ping me on Slack if you have any questions. Ciao.